Your mortgage is really not smart. Now, I know we're all told to do it, but here's the thing. The average property in the UK is worth 300,000. So let's pretend you got one of those, and most homeowners have got their mortgage paid off. So I'm talking to most people. Imagine you put a £200,000 mortgage on that property, and imagine that you then went and bought £800,000 of investment property, however many units that would be, wherever you live. If you buy the right ones, the investment yield you'll get on that £800,000 worth of property is equivalent to a profit after all costs of at least £1,000 per month if you buy them in the right place. So not paying off your mortgage will make you an extra £1,000 a month if you know what you're doing, if you know what kind of properties to buy. But the best bit is the capital appreciation, because you get the money in your pocket every month, £1,000, very nice. But let's say your properties go up by 5%, and they should do at least that. 5% of 800,000 is 40,000. Add together that 40,000 and the 12,000 you've already got, bing, 52,000. £1,000 a week.
The one thing I will do to start off this video is please be cautious about who you take advice from, okay? When you are speaking to a mortgage broker, they are regulated individuals. We abide by the FCA. We have to give you correct advice, otherwise there is legal recourse for us. We could be struck off from working with the banks and we cannot give a financial advice. So we have to be careful about the type of advice we give you and make sure it is researched and accurate, so that you have the correct tools to make the right decision. This is exactly the same with solicitors as well. It's exactly the same with surveyors. If you're speaking to anyone about property advice, please do not take it from someone that calls themselves a property professional, because there is no legal recourse for them. But let's delve into this video in particular. This person is saying paying off your mortgage is not smart. I beg to differ. If you are the type of person who likes the idea of being mortgage free, it puts you in a position where you're not paying for that roof over your head. There are so many people that I know that are north of 50 that are still working, who are thoroughly enjoying their lives right now. They're going on multiple holidays a year, they're buying their clothes, they're buying their sports cars, they're doing what they can to enjoy their lives. So why would you have to go down the route of trying to grow wealth exponentially, which is a great idea, but if it's not for you and it's something that you've never really pursued, then why would you do it? And to specifically say paying off your mortgage is not smart is dangerously naive, because there is so many people out there who just like the idea of being mortgage free. Now, if you put that money into an investment, firstly, this person is suggesting £800,000 as an investment. If you put that into an investment of £800,000, your stamp duty is going to be £70,000 under the new stamp duty rules. So your £200,000 then becomes an anemic £130,000, not to mention the solicitor's cost to go with that, so let's call it £125,000. You won't be able to buy a property for £800,000 if you go down that route. So let's do the other side, which is split the £200,000 into 4 different properties, £50,000 per property. Now that could be a good idea. Now if you go down that route, you're still going to have to pay stamp duty, because you're going to have to pay the best part of £11,500 per property, and you're going to have to pay an additional £1,500 on top of that as well. So what it started off as you having £200,000 then becomes you having the best part of maybe £150,000 to go and buy a few properties. You're also not going to buy 4 properties all in 1 year. You're going to be buying 1 property per year if you are lucky. So the first £50,000 can accumulate towards the first purchase. Now, you're not going to make £1,000 in passive income in the first year. You're going to have to put money aside, make sure it's justified, make sure that you have a base and foundation of income and sufficient funds should anything go wrong with that property. And let's assume that it does increase by 5%, which in this video suggests that it's going to be a £40,000 increase. This person finished off the video by saying, bingo, £1,000 a week. Well, that's not completely accurate, is it? Because the £40,000 that you're referring to becomes equity. The only way you get access to that equity is if you sell the property. You cannot remortgage the property whilst you're in a fixed rate, or you pay the early repayment charge, which eats into that profit. And you can only remortgage that by £40,000 if the property has increased by 5%, which isn't going to happen in the next 12 months or possibly even 2 years. Property is a long game. It's not a short game.